Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome everyone to our nightly reflections. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all our gathering here tonight. I'm just going to quickly share our link for tonight to my page, and we wait for our brothers and sisters to join us in just a few moments. Okay. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي ربي يسر ولا تؤسر وتممه لنا بالخير يا فتاه يا فتاه يا فتاح. Respected brothers and elders, mothers and sisters in Islam, we are truly grateful. We are thankful for the bounties and blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in our lives. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase for all of us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep us in the company of the righteous in this world. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala raise us amongst the righteous on the day of Qiyamah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fill our lives with mercy and rahmah, as all of us are in the need of the rahmah and the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, brothers and sisters, tonight, the topic that I chose, or I wanted to share with all of you, is a topic that I learned from one of the prophetic hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and that is, who is the most fortunate individual? Who is the most successful individual? And realistically, every one of you who is listening, I want to give you a few moments to think about this. If I was to ask you right now, and I don't expect you to write it down, but if I was to ask you right now and request you that think about 4 things that would make a person a human being, insan, not in Jannah, not in Qiyamah, not on the Day of Judgment. I'm talking about the life of this world before we pass away. List 4 things that would define the greatest success of any human being. Think about that. Maybe take another 10 to 15 seconds or a few more seconds and think about this, brothers and sisters. And I want you to reflect over this, because a lot of time we listen to the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, we listen to the words of the Prophet ﷺ, but what do we really take back from it? And that is something I really want you to reflect over tonight and introspect from the words of the Prophet ﷺ. So the hadith, which is reported by Ali radiallahu anhu, the Prophet ﷺ said, min sa'adatil mar'i, or arba'atun min sa'adatil mar'i, both narrations, that there are 4 things that defines the great fortune of a human being, right? If you have businesses, may Allah give you barakah and blessings in your work. People are going through a very difficult time. May Allah provide people from His own treasures. May He give barakah in the sustenance that He has already given us. And may Allah never allow us to spread our hands in front of anyone else except for Him, that Allah provides for all of us from His own treasures, brothers and sisters. But Rasulullah sallallahu in this very hadith, the Prophet sallallahu said, "Arba'un min sa'adatil mar." There are 4 things that defines the great fortune. So, fortune of a person. You might have a business and you want to become amongst the Fortune 500 or the Forbes list or the 40 Forbes list, less than 30 or 20 who became billionaires or something like that. So everyone has that goal of success. So the Prophet ﷺ said, from amongst the success of a person, the most successful individual in this world, again, not about salah, not about Quran, not about Jannah, not about anything of deen, just the things that we have of dunya. List 4 things in your mind or somewhere that you would think would define the success of a man or a woman. And some of the things that we may share even in common in thinking about them, right? But let's look over the words of Rasulullah ﷺ, and I want you to compare to what we have in our mind and what Rasulullah ﷺ gave us as true success. So the Prophet ﷺ said, min sa'adatil mar'i arba'atun. From amongst the success of a person in this world are four things. Number one, Rasulullah ﷺ said, may Allah grant us all these with khair and barakah. أن يكون زوجته صالحة. If Allah gives you a good partner of your life, if your spouse is righteous, you have 1/4 of the most successful, fortunate individual on the face of this earth. Rasulullah ﷺ mentioned to the men of the ummah and says, "Ad-dunya mata'un." This world is just matter, material that will finish very, very soon. And the best of this material or dunya is mar'atu salihah. If Allah gives you a righteous wife, that's the best thing that you can have in dunya, Rasulullah ﷺ told the men. And in this hadith, the Prophet ﷺ is speaking to both the women and men. The first thing he said, if Allah gives you a righteous spouse meaning the one who fears Allah and fulfills your responsibilities, and fulfills his responsibility or her responsibility and fulfills your right. That's number one. If Allah gives you a righteous spouse, the one who fears Allah and also fears the rights and responsibilities placed upon him and her. Number one, the Prophet ﷺ said. Number two, وَأَوْلَادُهُ أَبْرَارٌ. And if Allah gives you children who are abrar. Sahaba asked, O Prophet ﷺ, what are children who are abrar? Meaning, what are the qualities or characteristics of children who are abrar? And the Prophet ﷺ said, whenever your eyes turn towards your children, you will see them, him or her, your child, engage in pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Meaning anything that they would do will be to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Meaning righteous children as well. Meaning children who are good individuals, good human beings, good believers. They don't deceive others. They don't cheat others. They don't lie to others. They are respectful to parents and neighbors and elders. They are respectful to their deen and their religion and their faith. So Rasulullah ﷺ said, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you and bestows you with a righteous spouse, if Allah gives you obedient children, number two. Number three, وَخُلَتَهُ الصَّالِحِينَ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you good friends. And inshallah, I want to take this hadith and elaborate tomorrow night. I want to share with you what friendship is in Islam. A lot of time we think we have friends or we have companions. But what are the friends that Allah and His Rasul told us subhanahu wa ta'ala to keep as our friends? We must have good relationships with everyone. But what defines good friendship? Inshallah, I'll talk about that in detail tomorrow night. But the third thing Rasulullah ﷺ said from amongst the great fortune of a human being is وَخُلَتَهُ الصَّالِحِينَ. And if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you good friends, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you good people that you can surround yourself with. And that's why I speak to young people. If there's any young children, young people who are listening, I think there was a question. Okay, everyone can hear, right? I just saw a comment saying that there was no voice. I hope you guys can hear. Can you guys hear me? Subhanallah. So Rasulullah ﷺ mentioned, and he said in the hadith, and the Prophet ﷺ said, Al-mar'u ala dini khalili, falyandur man yukhalil. The Prophet ﷺ, and I speak to young people directly, and I tell you this. The Prophet ﷺ said, Al-mar'u ala dini khalili. A person will always be upon the religion and the faith of their own children, of their friends. And then the Prophet ﷺ said, then be careful for who you choose as your companion. The Prophet ﷺ said, Al-maru ala dini khalili. A person will always be upon the deen and religion of your companions and friends and your associates. Be careful for who you choose as your companion. So the third thing Rasulullah ﷺ said, if Allah gives you a good spouse, if Allah gives you righteous children, number three, and if Allah gives you good friends, even if they are few, but if they are good, number three, Rasulullah ﷺ said. And last but not least, the Prophet ﷺ said, وَرِزْقُهُ فِي بَلَدِهِ. and Allah gives you your rizq, your sustenance, and your provision close to the ones that you love the most. Meaning Allah has given you your rizq. And every one of us, brothers and sisters, I was at another call with a brother from Brooklyn, an alim from Brooklyn on a Zoom conference call, and they were talking about money management and risk and things like that. And I told him, look, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised in the Quran, وَمَا مِن دَابَّةٍ فِي الْأَرْضِ إِلَّا عَلَى اللَّهِ رِزْقُهَا. Whatever flies, crawls, walks, moves on the face of this earth, the risk of that person is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If the sky was to become of metal and the earth was to become of copper, and not even a single drop of rain and a single grain of grass and seed was to grow, wallahi, brothers and sisters, Allah will still provide for us. Why? Because He promised in the Quran, وَمَا مِن دَابَّةٍ فِي الْأَرْضِ إِلَّا عَلَى اللَّهِ رِزْقُهَا. It is Allah who promises to sustain us and take care of our rizq. But then Rasulullah ﷺ said, what makes you the most fortunate individual? وَرِزْقُهُ فِي بَلَدِي. Allah gives you your rizq, and He gives you your sustenance close to the ones that you love the most. Meaning you're not earning, you're earning, but you're leaving your loved ones. Allah gives you your earning, your provision, and your sustenance close to the ones that you love the most. You don't have to leave your loved ones in order to provide for them. If Allah has given you these four things, brothers and sisters, the Prophet ﷺ defined that as the greatest, most successful individual in this world. And brothers and sisters, the word falah, Allahu Akbar, falah refers to the true success, the success of the fruits that they see of their actions and deeds. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in one of these surahs of the Quran mentions, قَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ. And He uses a tense which is past, which refers to the success of the believers have already been destined by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if Allah has given you iman, that's already success for you. But now what are some of the important factors in your life that will increase that great fortune for you, that great success for you? Yes, it's not haram to have a good house. It is not haram to drive a good car. It is not haram to have good clothing. Wallahi, that's nothing wrong with that. But what is true success in the eyes of Allah and His Rasul must be understood in our minds. Find me a person who was more wealthier than Uthman ibn Affan. Find me a person who was more richer than Abdurrahman ibn Auf, that his caravan began from Syria and reached Medina without stoppage of any camel, and his rizq was still not finished. But with all of this wealth that Allah had given these people, Rasulullah ﷺ defined them as Ashra al-Mubashra. They were amongst the 10 people who were given the glad tidings of Jannah. The Prophet ﷺ said, Abu Bakr fil Jannah, Umar fil Jannah, Uthman fil Jannah, Ali fil Jannah, Sa'ad fil Jannah, Sa'id fil Jannah, Talha fil Jannah, Zubayr fil Jannah, Abu Ubaidah bin Jarrah fil Jannah, and Abdurrahman bin Auf fil Jannah, أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. 10 people He gave glad tidings of Jannah. Out of these 10 people, 6 of them were the biggest businessmen of their time. Their mal and their wealth never stopped them. But brothers and sisters, that was not the criteria of success for those individuals. So if Allah has bestowed us with wealth and with health and everything, we really need to truly see that what defines success in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And brothers and sisters, sometimes with the grind of life and the work and the people and the things that surround us, we truly forget the purpose of our lives. So this is a true reminder for myself and all of us that we're all running a race. But brothers and sisters, this entire epidemic and pandemic that happened in front of us is there to remind us that everything is in the qudrat of Allah. A city that never slept went silent for many nights, and may Allah bring ease and comfort to everyone's life and give health and cure to those who are sick, and give Jannah to those who have passed away in the state of Iman, and bring ease and comfort to all of our houses. But a reminder, brothers and sisters, success is what Allah and His Rasul defines as success. And I want to go back to this hadith and I will conclude, and I want to make a short dua for some of the brothers and sisters who passed away recently in the past few days because of this epidemic, and the families have requested us to make a short dua for them. But let me repeat this hadith to you so that we can take back this message with us. So brothers and sisters, Rasulullah ﷺ mentioned there are 4 things that defines the success of a person. In our mind, what do we consider to be success? What is in my mind that is success? And I really need to think for my own self. I'm talking to my own self, brothers and sisters, because I need this more than any one of you. What is in my mind true success? Is it a good car? Is it a good that? What is it in my mind? Rasulullah SAW said, if Allah gives you four things in this world, you are the most successful person. The most fortunate individual is that person. Sa'ada refers to the most fortunate individual, most blessed person. Number one, أن يكون زوجته صالحة. Allah has given them a righteous spouse. If Allah has given us spouses already, may Allah make them righteous and make them the coolness of our eyes. If you are not married, or if your children are not married, may Allah give them matches which are righteous in spouses. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give love and affection between the spouses and hearts, and may Allah give them tranquility and comfort and make them those successful individuals. Number two, وَأَوْلَادُهُ أَبْرَارٌ, that their children are righteous and pious. If Allah has given you awlad, all of our children, may Allah make them abrar. May Allah make them righteous. May Allah make them the coolness of all of our eyes. May Allah protect them from the fitness of this world and akhirah. May Allah make them the means of success and honor for us in this world and the hereafter. And for those who don't have children, may Allah provide you children from His own treasures. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you awlad and children that can become the coolness of your eyes. Number three, وَخُلَتَهُ الصَّالِحِينَ, and Allah has given you good friends, good companions. If you do have good friends, cherish them, brothers and sisters. And may Allah give us the companionship of the right individuals. May Allah give us the love of the righteous in our hearts. There was a dua of Rasulullah SAW. I love that dua. I wish maybe in Ramadan I will start a series on dua or something from the Prophet SAW. The Prophet SAW used to make this dua very open. Allahumma inni as'aluka hubbak. Oh Allah, I ask you for your love. وَحُبَّ مَنْ يُحِبُّكَ, and I ask you for the love of those who love you, and I ask you for the actions that are beloved to you, and the love of those actions that are beloved to you. So you ask Allah to give you the love of those who love you, meaning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if Allah has given you good friends, may Allah increase them in numbers and keep us in the company of good friends. And last but not least, وَرِزْقُهُ فِي بَلَدِي, if Allah has given you rizq close to your loved ones, may Allah give you barakah in this rizq. May Allah give you afiyat and ease and comfort in your rizq. And if you're going through trial time with your finances and your rizq, may Allah provide you rizq from His own treasures. So these are four things: righteous spouse, obedient children, good friends, and sustenance that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has provided you with your loved ones. If Allah has given you this, be thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ask Allah and show your gratitude and shed few tears and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you're truly grateful for His blessings. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to do what is correct and right in our lives. Some of the brothers and sisters have asked for dua for those who have passed away. One of the brothers, his name was Brother Rahman. Recently he passed away. Let's ask him and for his family and many other brothers and sisters in the surrounding area who have recently passed away because of this epidemic. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive them. Allahumma aghfir li hayyina wa mayyitina wa shahidina wa ghaibina wa saghirina wa kabirina wa dhakarina wa unthana. Allahumma man ahyaytahu minna fa ahya al-islam wa man tawaffaytahu minna wa tawaffahu al-iman. Allahumma aghfir lahum warhamhum. Allahumma aghfir lahum warhamhum. Allahumma aghfir lahum warhamhum. Wa sallallahu ala nabi al-kareem وعلى آله وأصحابه أمتي أجمعين آمين برحمتك يا رب الراحمين. Inshallah, brothers and sisters, we'll see you tomorrow night. Keep us in your dua. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.